like you to hit the like button at the beginning because every time you hit the like button, you are letting YouTube know that what you are seeing and hearing is edifying for you so it can be shared with others. That's why hitting the like button is so important. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing to the channel.
It had to happen. Your title is so powerful. When I read the name of your ministry, it had to happen.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and turn on notifications so you never miss an episode. Thank you so much for joining us on this incredible journey. We can't wait to share many more exciting episodes with you. Until then, take care and happy listening. Let's welcome our host, Erica Wilson.
Guys, can you hear me? I'm so sorry. I'm having some technical difficulties here, so please do bear with me really quick. I'm so sorry about this, but please do bear with me. Hold on one second. Thanks so much for tuning in here with us tonight at It Had to Happen. We're so honored to have you guys here on tonight for our topic of. And it's not working for me tonight, Makeba. So I'm not sure what's happening here. So please, guys, again, please do bear with me. We're having technical difficulties here. 1 second. Why is it doing this? All right, here we go. Wow. Great day, everyone. We're here live today with the girl Erica Wilson that It Had to Happen for our Thriving Thursdays. And tonight's topic is mind over matter. And the guest that I have here with us on tonight is an amazing young woman. I like to say young woman because I think we're all young in age. I mean, young in heart, right? But let me go ahead and put up her picture. She's so amazing. I had the honor of reading up on her and finding more out about her and what it is that she do. So I'm sure that tonight's topic will shed light for so many of us. So let me tell you a little bit about Dr. Makeba. Dr. Makeba Morgan Hill is a modern mystic Reiki master teacher, spiritual guide, and healer. Her approach to healing is informed by her extensive background in strategic planning, helping people and organizations achieve their visions. Dr. Makeba empowers individuals to release mental and emotional blockages. Wow. Facilitating a journey toward comprehensive wellness. Her work is a beacon for those seeking to illuminate their path to self discovery and embrace the potential that lies within. She offers a blend of intuitive healing and structured strategies, guiding others to unlock their innate healing capabilities and bask in their inner light. So, without further ado, let me introduce to some and present to others the beautiful Dr. Makeba Morgan Hill. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Hello, Erica. Thank you so much for that beautiful welcome, and thank you for inviting me to the show.
You're so welcome. Thank you for accepting the invitation. I'll tell you, when we were in the green room, it was glitching a little bit, but I didn't think that, think nothing of it. And I still see it now, but we're going to get through this show because you have some great information that you can share with us. And what I want to do, I want to go ahead and just say welcome to our viewers on tonight. So, welcome everyone. Sawana Bradley, thank you. She was telling me she couldn't hear me. Great evening, great evening. Thank you guys for tuning in. So, Dr. Makeba, can you tell us a little bit about who is Dr. Makeba?
Sure. Thank you for asking. So, I'll have to start at the beginning, really. And what I'll say is that for a very long time, for as long as I can remember, I felt really alone and a little isolated and different. I suffered from imposter syndrome for a very long time in work and even at home, even though I was very successful, had a pretty solid family, but I just felt different. Um, and that led to a lot of anxiety and stress and nagging back pain. So finally, I kind of decided I needed to focus on me. I did a whole lot of people pleasing for a very long time, so focused on me. And when I did that, it just kind of opened up a whole new world for me. And part of that world is Reiki, which we'll probably talk about a little bit more, but which is an energy healing modality that I tried because I wanted to alleviate the pain that I was having in my back. And it turned out that a lot of that pain was related to other things that were going on in my life. And so it emphasized to me the fact that we are multi-dimensional beings. We're mind, body, and soul, and it's all interconnected. So when I decided to choose myself, and I heard the term radical self-love a long time ago, and it was just kind of saying the child is going to be okay, the husband is going to be okay, but if the mom is not okay, the wife is not okay, the human being is not okay, then there's going to be a problem. So I did that. And when I did that, a whole new world literally opened up for me. And I made a major shift. I saw myself in a whole different light. I ended up getting divorced. Um, I ended up changing careers. Yesterday was actually my last day in my corporate job. And I was only really able to do that because the faith that I gained in really looking to myself and getting more connected with God gave me the strength and the power to see that I have everything that I need in me as a child of God, literally. And the beauty part about that is that that change in me allowed me to get off of anxiety medication that I had been on since COVID. The pandemic really struck a nerve, and had very high anxiety. And I figured out, wow, this spiritual connection that I have is so powerful. I tapped into meditation. I tapped into more prayer and deep breathing and got rid of the medication. So anyway, that's my testimony, and that's kind of how I got here. And what I do now is Reiki energy healing. I'm a mystic. I'm very a messenger, I say, and then a self-love pro, because now that I know that self-love works, I want to make sure that everybody makes time for that and that they approach it in a very strategic way because it's important.
Very, very important. You know, one of the things that stood out to me that you said, what you started off to say, is for a long time, basically, you didn't really love yourself.
Right.
You made time for everybody else but yourself.
Mhm.
And it's far too often when we become mothers, that's exactly what we do.
Right.
And not only that, you were not just a mother, you was a wife. So I'm sure you had, where was the time for Dr. Makeba? You
Right.
know, like I
Right.
really didn't have any time for Dr. Makeba because I'm so busy being everything to everybody else. But then when you get along with yourself, what do you find yourself? Like,
Right.
you know, and then what happens now? What happens when everybody don't need you to be that to them? So what do? You see what I'm saying? Like it's so I don't know because I find myself there quite
Yeah.
often.
Yeah.
I really love and I love hard, right?
Mhm.
And you find yourself into a place where I want to help. You know, I want to help. I don't want anybody hurting that, you know, around me.
Right.
But the
Right.
thing about it is you're the one left hurting.
Right. Well, and I tell people all the time, my clients especially, because a lot of people come to me with these same kind of issues, right?
Wow.
And I'm like, you cannot pour from an empty cup. So if you don't fill yourself and keep yourself whole, then
Mm,
what, you're giving more of yourself than you can. Like you're just setting yourself up for failure.
yeah, pretty
So,
much, pretty
right,
much. But
right.
you know what, Dr. Makeba, we talk about here a lot on, especially on our prayer broadcast. We talk about we the ones put the expectation. We're the ones that put the expectations on people, right?
Mhm.
And if these people don't live up to our expectations, we're all bent out of shape. We're all hurt, whatever it may be, however a person may feel. But truth be told, you're the one put the expectation on the person.
Right,
See,
right.
the thing that we're wanting from a person, they probably don't even know how to give. You
Mhm.
understand? I don't even know if that's what it is we want
Right,
because we think people are supposed to read our minds.
right, 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 and we give,
Yeah.
expecting to receive, 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 but
Mhm.
it's never what we expect it to be,
No.
and it's not even necessary. One of the turning points for me too in this journey was that I have a daughter. I only have one child. I have a daughter. We're very close. But what I found that if she's looking at me, I'm her role model. This is where she's learning how to be a woman. And if I'm not taking care of myself, if I'm stressed out all the time, if I'm giving, 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 and not taking time for myself, that's what she's going to do. And it's going to be a cycle, a vicious cycle. And so I really wanted to make sure that she saw what it looked like to be a healthy woman, a healthy human operating on this earth.
Wow, that makes a whole lot of sense because a lot of times we don't understand that our kids watch everything. They
Everything.
watch I'm it's so amazing that one of my grandsons, he's like 4 years old, and the things that he mimic now, I'm just like, "My God, when he grow older, we have to make sure like we're walking a really straight line in front of
Right,
him because like you say, you don't want it to be a repeated cycle, a
right,
vicious cycle. You know,
mhm,
we need healthy people out here so we could be able to get other people healthy, right?
right,
And if we are broken, bitter, and busted and disgusted, how can we help anyone?
right, right, right. And that was one of the reasons that I made the decision to leave my marriage because it wasn't,
Wow.
for me, it wasn't a happy marriage.
Mm,
And my daughter observed it. And, it was the three of us. It's not like it was abusive or anything. It just wasn't a loving relationship in the way that I would want her to have a loving relationship in the future. So, and
right.
and I remember her saying a couple years ago when she had her first little boyfriend and they were cuddling and kissing all over each other in my meditation room. And I was like, get a room. She said, don't be mad because daddy doesn't do that to you. And I was like, that was rude and unnecessary, but so true. So true. She was 18 years old, made that comment, wasn't trying to hurt me. It was just the truth. She saw that we were not cuddly. We were not,
Wow.
lovey-dovey, and not that you have to be lovey-dovey in a relationship, but it made me think about what I really missed in my
Yes.
my life. And one of those things was being loved hard.
Mm.
And I wasn't. So I made the decision 2 years ago to leave the marriage, and I have not had a single regret. I haven't had a single regret. And I told my husband at the time that I was leaving not because of him, but because of me. Like
Wow.
there's nothing that I can't complain
Mhm.
about what I don't have if I don't make myself available to receive it.
Come on. Wow, that's good.
And so when I did that, I met someone that truly made me feel young again, made me feel loved again, made me feel good. I got my groove back, and it was really it was really nice. But then too, jumping from one long-term relationship, I was with my husband, we were married for 18 years. And so jumping right
Oh,
into
wow.
another relationship was a little fast. And I don't recommend it to anyone because I feel like we all, especially if we're in a relationship, we all need to give ourselves some time, like a little cooling off period to really spend time with ourselves, loving
That's what I
ourselves.
was gonna ask you. That
Yeah,
was gonna be my question. But the thing is, if you found your person, you found your person. Like me, hello Nikithia. I'm a person that think, well, I really believe our life is predestined. God already knew what was gonna happen before it even happened, right? And if you find your person, that person could have been there all along, but you're in something where it avoided that person from coming in, right?
right.
If that makes any sense.
It does.
So with time and things like that, I'm not a big stickler on time when when it's right, when it's not right. If it's meant, your person. Look what you said. All the time you probably wasn't feeling love. And here it is, this person came in and you started feeling love. He
Mhm.
showed you you basically what you were capable. I'm
Mhm.
worthy of love.
Right.
Like, I deserve this. Not saying that your husband didn't love you, because going back to what we spoke about before, we put the expectations on people thinking they supposed to know what we want.
Exactly.
And they don't
Exactly.
know. Or what happens if they never receive love and don't know how to give it?
Right. Or if they don't fully love themselves. And that's what I
Oh.
found with him. And I told it's funny, it's not funny, but it's funny. When we had the conversation about the divorce, I told him that I could not love him enough for both of us because he
Mm.
himself was very down on himself and just not satisfied with his career, just not satisfied in life, and just carried this heavy negativity. And
Oh.
when I began to come into my own spirituality and my own energy, it became impossible to be around negative energy in that way. It just became
Mm.
painful, uncomfortable, and it was just like, hell no, I can't do this. I can't
Right. Oh my God. Well,
do that.
okay. Well, here it is. You found your new person found you, or you found each other.
We found each other,
You
yes.
found each other.
Uh-huh.
Okay. But you were saying that you wouldn't suggest it to anyone to kind of like jump from one thing to another, right?
Right.
Because you really probably, what if, Dr. Makeba, you knew who you were and you knew that's what you deserve. So why not? Like, if it's, you know
Well,
what I mean?
yeah, so I think so. I That's a really good point, and I felt for sure at the time when I first met my friend, and I love him to pieces. When I first met him, I was really excited and gung ho, and it was great. But I realized that I did not allow myself an opportunity to mourn the loss of my marriage, relationship that I had with my ex, I didn't have any regrets. I didn't, it's not like I was still pining over him or hoping that things would get back together or anything. But it's like with any death of a thing, I believe that there should have been a little bit of time to grieve. And I started dating this guy before the divorce was final, I'll say. And so I was going through some emotions, and I believe that God put him in my life for a reason because he helped me through it. He really did. He experienced a divorce 5 years before I did. His was a lot rougher than mine. He's a super fun guy. I loved hanging out with him. He was great. He did all the things that I needed him to do. It was perfect. But I still feel like I missed an opportunity to just be. And I found myself needing that like a year and a half into this relationship. I'm like, I just really need a little time to be alone and be with God, really just. So I've taken a couple of solo trips. I went to Riviera Maya in December after doing some work and was by myself for a long weekend. Went to North Carolina shortly after that for a long weekend. And I'm finding that in the solitude is helpful because you do get answers, you do get peace, you do get clarity. And I wanted to make sure, and I encourage people, everyone else, to make sure that they can be at peace and happy alone with themselves. Like they can be satisfied with who they are and all of that. And the true test, I think, is when you spend a little bit of time alone.
In isolation, right?
A little bit of time alone. And, not to put my daughter's business out there, and I know if she was watching, she would be mad at me, but she's in the midst of a breakup. Wow. She's 20 years old, and it is her first true. And he initiated the breakup, and she is really taking it hard. And as her mother, I'm looking at her crying and just sad and feeling it because I remember what that first heartbreak felt like. Yeah. I remember what the second really bad heartbreak felt like too, and it's hard, and I want to help her. I want to make her feel better, but I know that it's a process that she has to go through. And I also know that it's a good thing that he made the decision to take a break because they were very dependent on each other. They dated each other for 2 years, from 18 years old to 20 years old. They're both babies. They're growing and learning. Yeah. And I tell her, and I'm telling her, and I tell everybody else too, you want to be a very strong whole before you get into a couple. You want 2 strong wholes, and they're both very young and still developing and growing. And I tell her, in time you might get back together, but you want him to be a man when it's time, you want to be a strong, independent woman when it's time, so that you're both bringing your full whole selves to the table. Yeah. So, it's rough.
It's rough. And you know what? That's that's another thing we say on the show too. I like to say bent but not broken. But the thing is, when we're unequally yoked, right? And we're with someone because the enemy know how to send us some stuff too that we like. Yeah. And we're in a relationship and we see that, it's toxic. We see that it's toxic, but the blinders are on.
Right.
So if one person is healed and the other person is broken, guess what's going to happen to that healed person?
Yeah.
They're going to eventually break too.
Yeah.
And this is everybody now, don't get me wrong, people of God. Everyone is going through something, right? But the thing is, you don't want to really shy the ones that's hurting away, because maybe God placed you in their path to be a beacon of light for them. Right. Like a beautiful soul like you know who you are now. Like even I was going to say too, when you jumped into the other relationship, the thing is, that probably was predestined, because guess why? You could have slipped back into anxiety.
Right.
So we don't know why the it's happen, but they had to happen, right? Yeah. And it's just, I'm sitting here and I'm listening to your story because we all know too, that first love, the puppy love, oh God. Yeah, it's not a good feeling, but the thing is, you sit back and you kind of say, like, whoa.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure when you look back into your 18 years of marriage, and I want to say kudos to you because 18 years, and for you to say, like, one day, like, I'm not leaving, you didn't put the blame on him to break him. You know what I'm saying? You said,
Right.
it's me. How many of us can do that, Dr. Makeba?
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
like to do this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, oh God, well, you heard what Dr. Makeba said here on tonight. We're going to jump into what it is she do because I'm very, very interested in it, as well, because
Mhm.
one of the things, we have to know about practicing self-love. You
Yeah.
have to take care of you before you try to take care of anybody else,
Right.
because you go in broken, you're going to break other people.
Mhm.
So, oh, and one thing, and I love what you said, when you can spend time with you, oh, you
Yes.
get so much clarity in it. And the thing is, when you could take time out for you, but when God put you in isolation, oh my,
Mhm. That's the time.
it almost feels like the puppy love break.
Woo!
All
Yeah.
right, woo! Oh my God. Okay, so I want to make sure I'm saying it right again. Reiki.
Reiki. Yes.
Okay, so for those of us that do not know what Reiki is, Dr. Makeba is going to tell us all about it.
Okay. Very good. So Reiki is an energy healing modality. And basically, it originated in Japan. I'm on my way to Japan in 2 weeks, guys. I'm really excited about that. But Reiki originated in Japan. It's a healing modality where you use your hands. The energy comes out of your hands and it helps to manipulate the energy that is in yourself because you can use it for self care or in others. And the key premise is that we're all energy bodies, energy beings. And if you're familiar or have heard of the chakra system, the energy works with the chakras to get them in alignment. So we've got 7 major chakras that we work with, starting from the crown to the third eye, to the throat chakra, to the heart chakra. Your solar plexus area is above your belly button, below the breastbone. The sacral is below the belly button and above the pelvic bone. And then the root chakra.
Wait a minute, Dr.
Yeah.
Makeba.
Mm-hmm.
You said the third eye. What is
The third eye. So that is your intuition. That's where your intuition lies.
okay?
Yes, that's your third eye chakra. So for a lot of people who have visions, a lot of people who have vivid dreams, they have a very active third eye chakra. And the crown chakra is your connection to God, your higher power, your higher self.
Wow,
So with
very
Reiki, it's not a physical where you touch people like massage. It's just kind of a movement of the energy with your hands. You hover. And like I can do Reiki remotely with you if I wanted to, because it goes, there's no such thing as time and space really. And so it kind of flows in that way.
wow. And someone on here already knows. She says discernment is within the third eye.
Yeah. Some cultures call it the brow chakra, but really it's about your intuition. Mhm.
Wow.
Yes.
Now, I'm really, because one thing about me is my spirit of discernment is very high.
Mhm.
Um, and I am a dreamer.
Mhm.
So I didn't know all of this lingo that you're saying now.
Yes.
Because I'm gonna tell you what happened to me one time. Someone actually, and I'm gonna be honest, totally honest, someone actually invited me to a session
Mhm.
and it just didn't sound right to me.
Right.
And I was like, no. Because
Right.
the one thing that I don't play with is God.
Mhm.
That's the number one person I do not play with. And
Right.
I didn't understand it, Dr. Makeba, but hearing what you're saying now, I'm
Mhm.
kind of get a better understanding on it, because what I thought or you know.
It's like black magic or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why it's very, very important for us to educate ourselves on things, because it was a couple of years ago. I was living in Dallas and I met a young man and he was very interested in me, and I found out he was atheist.
Mm.
But by me being ignorant to what atheist represents,
Right.
I
Right.
said, "Oh no, I can't date you." You
Uh-huh.
know. And he said, "See, that's what's wrong with you Christian folk." He said, "Because I thought atheists, they believed in the devil. They worship the devil."
Right.
And that's only because I was not educated on what an atheist is.
Right.
So had I went in and did my research on what Reiki is, because I'm telling you, I had someone, she had a group of people come in town and it was her birth, and I really feel
Mhm.
bad now finding out what it is. So if one come to you, not even come to you, if one want a session with you, Dr. Makeba,
Mhm.
you saying that it can be done remotely.
It can. It
So
can.
tell us how one can get in contact with you, if they would like, a
So
session.
the best way is on my website. My services page is on there. You can get to it if you type in Dr. Makeba, the number 4, love.com, or MakebaMorganHill.com will take you there. And you can book a Reiki and a reading appointment. And I do want to talk a little bit about what you said, because I run into a lot of people who believe that Reiki is not um, good, especially a lot of Christians, because they believe that it's counter to what God would want, or what God,
Right.
allows and things. And so, what I will say is that every single gift that I have and everything that I use when I work with people was given to me by God,
Okay.
and that um, that I would not do anything to anyone with anyone if I thought that there was some threat to me being with my maker at any point. And
Right.
so when I mentioned I became more spiritually connected as part of this transformation, I hear very clearly from
Mhm.
God. I know, and there are a lot of us who do, right? Like,
Yeah.
we get messages and we hear things, and I know with my heart and soul that this is a tool that was given to us so that we can help ourselves, and
Mhm.
that it's been suppressed so that we are in the dark. And so this, I believe, is a way for us to help each other, because
Mhm.
it can help mind, body, soul healing. There are a lot of people you probably see on television, people doing Reiki now, especially with cancer patients, because it helps with relaxation. It helps with healing in many different ways. It's not just a spiritual healing, it's a physical healing for certain folks.
Wow.
For heart patients, it's very helpful because it helps with anxiety and things. And basically, what it is you're just using the palms of your hands. And if you want to try it, since you have your hat on, I would say to put your hands on your chest
Mhm.
and breathe, and you can feel the energy moving. You can feel a calming, and that's part of what happens. Now, like,
Oh, see,
if,
yeah.
yeah, like if you're feeling confused about something, you might put your hand on your head, because you're like, that's your third eye, and that's your energy soothing your third eye.
Hmm.
Um, if you feel like you want to say something, or somebody's not listening to you, or just you need to rest your voice, you might put your hands on your throat chakra like this. If
Wow.
if you're feeling like somebody is taking away your personal power, or like you can't do something, you might feel sick in your gut, and that's your solar plexus. So it's all related. It's all connected.
So would you say, um, when you're about to do something, and I call the Holy Spirit is unctioning you not to,
Yeah.
you have that that unease. So
Mhm.
you just, what was it? The name of it you called
The
it?
solar plexus. The
Oh,
solar plexus, that's like right below the breastbone and above the belly button, so up
yeah.
here. And
Uh-huh.
that's called the fire. That area is like the sun, the fire in your belly. And so when you're very passionate about something and you really go about getting something done, that's where that's coming from.
So let me ask you this. I know that I'm going through menopause right now, and the flashes is like, I don't know if you caught it earlier. You're probably going to see my face a little wet because they can't look. I'm actually sitting right here with my best friend.
Look, I got mine close by too. I don't know what I did with it right now, but I'm right here with you.
Yeah. So, and one of the things when I was reading up on it, they were saying stress,
Yes.
anxiety. What was the other thing? I know it was spicy foods, and one of the things I love, chocolate. Caffeine.
Coffee too. Coffee.
Yeah. Well, I only drink decaf. I don't drink caffeine coffee at all. Never
Good.
have.
Good.
But I notice when I'm working and I'm trying to get things done and I go into deep thought, they come on.
Yeah.
I noticed that. And I said, okay, well, what can I do to get ahead of it?
Yeah.
But I think with the hot flashes, they just have his own mind.
Yeah.
But I did back in the day suffer from anxiety, right? And never, thank God, never used the medication.
Yeah.
I learned how to breathe, the deep breaths, and the tapping.
Yes. Yeah.
So
all
deep breath.
All of it, the tapping is related to the energy. You're unlocking energy that's stuck in your body when you do that.
Wow. And that was one of the things she told me to do. She said deep breathing and then tap.
Yeah.
And I was like, really? But it works because I used to have it so bad till it felt like I couldn't swallow.
Yeah.
Like my heart would just race and it just felt like I couldn't swallow. And I'm just like, what is this? And the lavender works too. The lavender, I used to do a lavender candle and a lavender bubble bath.
Yes.
And it relaxes me. Okay. But I know we know you have another a session, but I want to jump into now. That's one of the things I won't ever do.
What's
is
that?
A reading.
Okay.
I would never ever do that. I can't even say why I won't do it, but I had several people come up on my Instagram or Facebook and they
don't trust those things. When they come
Okay.
into your inbox like that, they're trying to scam you. Don't do that. I'm sure I've had several people pose as me and go in people's inboxes asking them if they want a reading. I would never do that. If you want a reading, you come to me. I don't come to you. And it's the same for most people.
Wow. Well, yeah, my inbox was flooded so much, and they were telling me how they have this special message for me because I have all this great energy coming from me. I was like, you know what, block, because I'm really sold. I'm not saying that readings go against God's will. I'm just saying that whatever God is my everything. You know what I'm saying? So I feel as though if He I'm going to tell you what happened to me. Oh, God, I'm going to tell you what happened to me. I went to the doctor. The doctor was saying that he thought I had cervical cancer. And of course, you in between the time of waiting, your mind is just going.
Right.
And I promise you, Dr. Makeba, I went to the mall one day. And they were putting me, I got out the car by myself, but they put me right in front of the store. And that I don't normally do that. They normally, but anywho, put me out right in front of the store. I don't know where this lady came from. I can't even tell you where she came from. She came to me and she says, "There's nothing wrong with you." And I looked.
Yes.
And I just began to weep in my soul. But Dr. Makeba, when I turned back to look for her, she was not there.
Yes.
She was not there.
Need in the way that we need it, in the way that we're ready to receive it.
Yes. So I went to the doctor, come to find out my test was switched. Nothing was wrong with me. And they had froze my cervix.
What?
Nothing was wrong with Dr. Makeba. And I'm telling you, she came out of nowhere. So things like that, I believe, God uses angels. But as far, I'm gonna just be told, I think I don't want to hear anything bad. Because I'm a warrior.
Yeah.
You see? So I really want to, not saying that there's anything wrong with readings, because whoever decides to do it, kudos
Yeah.
to them. I'm just saying that's not something that I would do. But the Reiki energy,
Yeah.
that really sheds so much light for me, because you do have so much black magic out here.
Yes. And you have to be careful. I tell people all the time, just like in the Wizard of Oz, there's good witches and bad witches. So you
Right.
want to make sure you're not dealing with any of them.
Right.
But remember that the energy can be moved, and you want to connect with the soul of the person. So I do readings. Like I said, my session is Reiki and a reading, but usually what my reading is helping people understand their spiritual gifts. That's what I'm doing.
Okay.
So it's not like I don't put spells and lift spells and all that stuff like that.
All those cards.
No.
Okay.
No. And I will use cards for some people because they receive those better. But what I find is that when I tell them something and then pull the card just confirms it. So some people need that type of reassurance that I am giving them the right message or whatever, for whatever reason. But typically in my sessions, it's about getting your energy aligned. It's about helping you to feel better, helping you to pinpoint what some of your specific issues might be. So the reading might be that your heart chakra is out of alignment, but it might be because of something that's going on in your relationship. Is there anything going on in your relationship that you might need to address? And you don't have to talk about it with me, but you think about it. We work with the energy and we try to dissipate whatever is stuck there. So that's the kind of stuff that happens. And I feel like, readings have a very negative connotation, especially because of how people are going about trying to scam people.
Right.
I mean, all the time wanting to tell me what my ancestors said. I'm like, I know what they said because I could communicate with my ancestors myself. Okay.
Really?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so let me ask you this. A person that's always on the go, just stay busy, busy, busy. Do you think that they're trying to run from something?
I feel like it varies. There are people who are just naturally busy people. They don't feel whole unless they're moving. But I think that and I have a very good coworker that I love that's always moving and doing. But if you don't sit down and be still, you might be missing something. You gotta sit and be still. So that's why I recommend to everybody to meditate and pray at least once a day. I recommend twice a day, but at least once a day, make time to just be one with God.
Now, meditating, because that's my thing. I sit and I sit before, I sit and I try to focus in meditation. For some reason, Dr. Makeba, my mind just wanders.
Right.
It really just wanders off. And I'm like, what am I doing wrong? Because I do hear so many great things about meditation.
Right.
And
I'll tell you, when I first started trying to meditate, this was years before all this, the Reiki and the spiritual awakening and whatnot. Whenever I would try to meditate, I would start itching, just random, like, no. And it would just, no matter what I did, I couldn't meditate. But what I discovered later on is that it wasn't time for me yet to really get into a deep meditation. Because if I got into a deep meditation, that's when I would start hearing and receiving. And, it wasn't time yet for me to get into my spiritual work.
Okay.
So what I've learned over the past couple of years is that it is normal for your mind to wander, because that's what happens. So the key is going to be to refocus. And what I recommend to people is that they focus on the words, inhale, exhale. So if you're saying to yourself, inhale, exhale, it's harder for you to be thinking about, what am I going to eat for dinner? And what did I call such and such back? It's just focus on the inhale and the exhale, and then focus on your heartbeat. So to try to focus on if you can feel your heart, if you can, see it beating in your mind's eye, just try to focus on the inside instead of letting your mind wander, and see how that goes. For some people, it's helpful to listen to music when they meditate. Mm-hmm.
That is me. So is there a certain position you need to be in?
So some people the folks who are very strict, they recommend sitting in kind of lotus position, which is crisscross applesauce, or
Right.
Indian style, right? With your back straight. But you can do it laying down, you can do it standing up, you can do it sitting, however feels comfortable, as long as you're able to be in that position for a little bit, because you don't want to be moving around. You want to be able to have your body be still. There is also moving meditation and mindful meditation where you can meditate while taking a walk. So if you're on a walk and you're just mindfully paying attention to something, so you might be looking just at the leaves on the trees, or you might be trying to count the rocks that you see as you walk down the street. That's being mindful about what you're seeing, or you're being mindful about feeling the air on your skin and things like that, rather than, again, thinking about what am I going to get for dinner, or how long is it going to take me to get down the street, or what time is it now, what's the weather. So you just focus on being.
Right.
Just on being. Yeah.
Wow. So there's different types of meditation from what I just heard here.
Absolutely.
And I know, like I said, sometimes I sit there, and that's the thing. I thought you had to sit up, right? And crisscross applesauce. But one thing I know that I love when I'm in a quiet place, I love listening to worship music. And I sit and I'm just in that, I have inside my home a war room. And I sit there and I find myself just listening to the songs minister to me, right? And I find it so soothing. And I could be done had the worst day, but if I happen to make it into that place, that war room, oh my God, it's just all. And people like, how do you not hold grudges? How do you not stay mad? I can't.
Right.
It's too much energy just to keep. It's just it takes away too much to be upset all the time. You may have done something. We speak about it, or we may not speak about it. Maybe speak about it later on. However, how long are you going to let that burn in your soul like that?
Right.
We take so much for granted. We all don't know our end date.
That's correct. That is correct.
So how do you want to stay mad with someone? Think about it though, Dr. Makeba. Think about what God know what we did.
Yeah.
And nobody else don't know behind closed doors.
Right.
And he forgave us and still love us.
Exactly. That's why, I say all the time, if we are to be godly, then we need to be godly. He would not judge the way that we judge. And if he were to judge, he would say, I believe that that's his job and not ours.
Right.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Well, I know that you have your session. So what I want you to do, if one want to, and let me just really quickly shout out Stephanie Yvonne. Thank you so much for the star, sis. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so very much. I'm forever grateful. So if one want to have a virtual session, or just tell us how we can contact you. I'm so sorry. I meant to bring this up for you. Okay, Dr. Makeba will tell us all about this event here.
Okay.
Oh, wait, there we go.
Okay. So there is a wellness cultural market happening on Sunday in Atlanta. If you're here in Atlanta, at the Heal Space, there will be wellness organizations represented at this event. And I think you should all come out. I'll be there, and I'd love to meet you if you're in the area.
Is that this Saturday?
That one is this Sunday.
Oh, this Sunday. I'm so sorry.
12 to 6, yes.
All right. So, guys, we're here live tonight with your girl, Erica Wilson, that it had to happen for our Thriving Thursdays. And I have the beautiful Dr. Makeba Morgan Hill with us on tonight. And she shared some great information with us all and shed some light for me as well. A couple of things that I did not know. But I want to say, guys, please do educate yourselves on anything that you're getting involved in or anything just educate yourselves. It's a great thing to do because you don't want to make the mistake of losing out on something or missing out on something that could have been great for you at the end of the day. So, Dr. Makeba, is there anything that you would like to leave with our guests on tonight? I see your cat in the back.
That's actually my daughter's cat. She's a big ham. She likes to be on screen. But what I would like to say is to please, please, please remember to focus some love and attention on yourself because you deserve it. Take your time with you. Pour as much into yourself as you pour into others, and you'll never regret it. And this is a mind, body, soul thing. It's not just going to get a massage and getting your nails done. It's doing things that are really, truly good for your soul. So tap in, figure out what those things are. And I can't wait to see how we all flourish. It's our way to get back to our full consciousness, and I love it.
Absolutely. Great, great words of encouragement, Dr. Makeba. And I would like to bring you back for self-love because so many of us is actually lacking self-love. So if you would like to come back on another segment, you have the link to book. I would love to have you to come back for that.
Okay.
Last night we had a young lady, Miss Betty Wilson. She spoke about alopecia. And I think when she said last night, a woman's hair is her crown, right? So when you begin to suffer from alopecia, I think, matter of fact, I think you should come on with her because guess what? When one is losing their hair, guess what happens?
Their value just diminishes completely. Their value themselves.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely. So I would love for you to come back if you're willing. You do have the link. Yeah, please do let me know because you shed so much light for me tonight. And I'm telling you, your energy is good. I'm feeling such a calmness. I have not. And look, Dr. Makeba, I'm telling you, no lie. Every time I get on this show, I'm busting out in sweats. Every time. And right before I get on the show, my allergies go wild. And it sounds like I'm clogged, but your energy is definitely, you have very, very good energy. Very, very good energy. And it's soothing.
Good.
It's definitely soothing. So thank you so much. It was an honor having you here on tonight. I know you have to go for your session. Guys, Dr. Makeba do meditations, Zoom calls. So you might want to find out again, Dr. Makeba, how can we get in contact with you again?
So www.drmakeba, Makeba, the number 4, love.com or MakebaMorganHill.com. You can find me there.
I have this right, Dr. Makeba. So can you tell me if I have that right? Or did I miss the doctor?
It's a doctor and there's no R in Makeba. It's M-A.
Oh, Lord, look, I'm typing so fast.
That's okay. The other way to find me is on Instagram at Dr. Makeba for Love 222. So I am out there. Just Dr. Makeba for Love. You'll find me.
All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in here with us. We're forever grateful for all of our faithful viewers, all the ones that tuned in here with us on tonight. Thank you guys so much because we cannot do this without each and every one of you. And if you would like to book, you could go to my website at www.ericawilsonih2h.com. Also, on Monday nights, we have our NFL Mom Show. On Tuesdays, we have our prayer broadcast as Girls Talk with Dr. B. Whew, through the roof. God is doing some amazing things on there. And on Wednesdays and Thursdays, we open up the floor for guests like Dr. Makeba to come on and share whatever it is your it may be. Just know that your it happened to you, but it also happened for you to share with someone else. So God bless each and every one of you. Until next time, Dr. Makeba, we love to send out virtual hugs, because I love loving on people, and virtual love. I'm gonna see if my heart came up after I gave you.
Yes.
Oh, we love you here at It Had to Happen. God bless each and every one of you. Until next time, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.